the review session of Pulsar's career point. This is a video for the student of class 12 in the name of practice series for annual higher secondary examination as per the modified question pattern in the chapter electrochemistry. ଏବେ ଏହାର এই ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ ରେ जो क्वेश्चन पैटर्न ଭିତରେ ଆମେ ଟିକେ डिस्कशन କରିବା ଏଠାରେ ଫୁଲ୍ ମାର୍କ 20 ମାର୍କ୍ସ ରହିବ टाइम ड्यूरेशन ରହିବ 45 मिनिट्स तार टाइम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन आम 45 मिनिट्स को किभଳି भाबे करिवु ना एथिरे 5 मिनिट आम दबो क्वेश्चन पेपर को पढ़िबा एवं अंडरस्टैंडिंग करिया पई एठी चारोटी ग्रुप रे क्वेश्चन रहिबो ग्रुप ए रे 5टी एक मार्किया क्वेश्चन रहिबो हमको 1.5 मिनिट करी 7.5 मिनिट भितरे ग्रुप ए रे समस्त प्रश्न उत्तर लिखा को पड़िबो ग्रुप बी रे 4टी 2 मार्किया प्रश्न आसीबो सेथिरु 2टी 2 मार्किया प्रश्न उत्तर लिखा को पड़िबो 4 मार्क को उत्तर को आमे को 8 मिनिट भितरे संपूर्ण करबा को पड़िबो ग्रुप सी रे 4टी 3 मार्किया प्रश्न आसीबो सेथिरु 2टी प्रश्न उत्तर अर्थात 6 मार्क पई हमको मैक्सिमम 12 मिनिट दे पारिबो अर्थात 12 मिनिट भितर हमको ग्रुप सी को कंप्लीट करिया पड़िबो एवं ग्रुप डी रे 2टी डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चन आसीबो सेतिर गोटे प्रश्न उत्तर लिखा को पड़िबो 5 मार्क रो प्रश्न को हमको 12.5 मिनिट भितर उत्तर लिखा को पड़िबो लेट अस वेलकम टू द ग्रुप ए where all the questions are compulsory containing only the multiple choice questions ये 5 मार्क रो क्वेश्चन को हमको 1.5 मिनिट करी प्रत्येक प्रश्न पई 7.5 मिनिट भितर सॉल्व करिया को पड़िबो एबे क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 पर नजर पकेबा फाइंड द नंबर ऑफ कूलम्स रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द कन्वर्शन ऑफ 1 मोल ऑफ Fe3+ to Fe2+ Fe3+ को Fe2+ को कन्वर्शन करिया पई केते कूलम्स रो इलेक्ट्रिक दरकार पड़िबो ऑप्शन ए 96,500 ऑप्शन बी 3 into 96,500 ऑप्शन सी 5 into 96,500 ऑप्शन डी 7 into 96,500 एमन को भीतर कोनटी सटीक उत्तर रहइबो Fe3+ Fe2+ को किभଳି कन्वर्ट हो ना बागेनी इलेक्ट्रॉन 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन 1 mole of Fe3+ require 1 mole of electron to convert into 1 mole of Fe2+. As a result, 1 Faraday of electricity is required. In Coulomb, 1 Faraday is nothing but 96,500. So the answer is option A, that is 46,500 Coulomb. Let us come for the question number 2. A dilute aqueous solution of sodium sulfide is electrolyzed using platinum electrode. The products at the cathode and anode are option A, Na and O2, option B, H2 and O2, option C, Na and H2 O2 minus, and option D, O2 and H2. The students try to give the correct answer. एटेरे आमे सोडियम सल्फाइड को इलेक्ट्रोलाइज करिवो सोडियम सल्फाइड इलेक्ट्रोलाइज हेले आउट ऑफ Na+ इट इज दुई प्रकार कैटन रहइबो Na+ and H+ of water out of Na+ and H+, the H+ has low discharge potential. It will migrate towards the cathode and due to primary change it converted into H. Two H mixed with each other to give you H2. So cathode पाखरे हाइड्रोजन गैस मारिबो और एनोड पाखको OH माइनस आई O2 गैस रे कन्वर्ट हो तेनु एटर कैथोड पाखरे H2 एनोड पाखरे O2 अर्थात ऑप्शन बी करेक्ट आंसर आइ किंतु पिला माने मने रखिबो जदि एई प्रश्नटी को कैथोड एनोड को उल्टी देई जदि एट एनोड एंड कैथोड को हाजिबो एयर उत्तरटी ऑप्शन डी हितांता O2 and H2 will be liberated at the cathode and anode respectively. Let us come for the next question, question number 3. The amount of electricity required to produce 1 mole of copper from copper sulfate solution will be option A 1 Faraday, option B 2 Faraday, option C 3 Faraday, option D 4 Faraday. Which will be the correct answer? 1 mole of copper sulfate solution ने Cu2+ हिसाब रे थिला से 2 moles of electron gain कले Cu रे कन्वर्ट हो अर्थात 2 moles of electron पाई 2 Faraday of electric requirement पड़िबो. So option B, 2 Faraday is the correct answer. Now let us come for the next question, question number 4. In an article If an article to be electroplated, then it would be made as dash. Option A, cathode. Option B, anode. Option C, both A and B. Option D, none. जदि गोटे आर्टिकल को आमको इलेक्ट्रोप्लेटेड करने को थी ताको आमे केउते रखिबो आर्टिकल प्लेटिंग हवा को हेले गोटे इन्फीरियर मेटल ऊपर गोटे सुपीरियर मेटल प्लेटिंग हुए आ सुपीरियर मेटल पार्टिकल्स इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक सॉल्यूशन जाई सी इन्फीरियर मेटल ऊपर प्लेटिंग हेता सो जदि कैटायंस गुड तो कैथोड पाखरे जाई डिस्चार्ज हेई तापर प्लेटिंग हेता सो जदि आमे जहा को इलेक्ट्रोप्लेटिंग करबा को चाहूछु सी कैथोड हिसाब रे यूज होबा दरकार सो ऑप्शन ए इज द करेक्ट आंसर. Let's come to the next question. The unit of specific conductance is option A, ohm. Option B, ohm inverse centimeter inverse. Option C, centimeter. Option D, centimeter inverse. Which will be the correct answer? What is the unit of specific conductance? The unit of specific conductance is ohm inverse centimeter inverse. That is option B is the correct answer. Welcome to all of you to the group B. That is the object semi-descriptive questions. That is 2 marks questions. Here 2 questions are to be answered out of 4. Each questions require not more than 4 minutes to write the answer. एबोले एटारे 4 मार्क पाई हम मैक्सिमम 8 मिनिट समय दे परिबो. Come for the first question. Write the last equation for the cell Al dipped in Al3 plus separated by salt bridge. Nickel electrode is dipped in Na2 plus. What will be the last equation for this electrolytic cell? Aluminum is dipped in Al3 plus. So what happens at the cell reaction? In case of the anode, aluminum loses 3 electrons and come is Al3 plus into the solution. Na2 plus migrate towards the nickel anode. By gaining 2 electrons, it is accumulated as nickel. To equalize the number of electrons, the first equation is multiplied with 2. As a result, 6 electrons are accumulated. And the second equation is multiplied by 3. As a result, 6 electrons can be utilized at nickel electron. Thus, the net reaction is 2 aluminum solid plus 3 Na2 plus aqueous gives 2Al3 plus aqueous plus 3 Na solid. Here, n is equal to 6. As n is equal to 6, according to Nernst equation, E is equal to E0 minus 0.0591 by n. n जगह में 6 नहीं गलो. लग Kc जगह Al3 plus aqueous concentration to the power 2 by Na2 plus aqueous concentration to the power 3. In other words, आमने ताको numerator denominator को exchange कर देबो. The minus can be changed to plus. Now, let us come to the second question. When a current of 1.5 ampere strength is passed through a solution of salt of metal whose atomic mass is 112 for 15 minutes, 0.783 gram of the metal was deposited. Find out the valence. आमको I देइचे, atomic mass देइचे, time देइचे, एवं W मध्य देइचे, and it is asked to calculate the valence B. I is equal to 1.5 ampere, T is equal to 15 minutes. Converted into second, it will be 900 second. Weight of the metal is given 0.783 gram. Atomic mass of the metal is 112 and valence of the metal is asked. We know that Wm is equal to Zm IT. So Zm is equal to Wm by IT. By putting these values, we can write the equation and Zm को हमें लिखी पारिबु Em by 96,500. So Em is equal to पुनी atomic mass by valency. So atomic mass of copper by atomic mass of the metal by valency of the metal is equal to setike. So what should be the valency of the metal? Now we have to calculate this and it is found to be 2.001. As valency cannot be a fraction, so the answer is 2. Now let us come for the third question of this group. The equivalent conductance at infinite dilution of ammonium chloride, sodium hydroxide and NaCl are 129.8, 217.4, 108.45 ohm inverse centimeter square gram equivalent inverse respectively. Calculate the equivalent conductance of ammonium hydroxide at infinite dilution. Solution: equivalent conductance of ammonium hydroxide at infinite dilution can be calculated from the equivalent conductance at infinite dilution of ammonium chloride, sodium hydroxide and NaCl is below. Equivalent conductance of ammonium hydroxide is equal to equivalent conductance of ammonium ion plus equivalent conductance of OH minus ion. Now, it can be rearranged to get the result from the equivalent conductance of ammonium chloride, sodium hydroxide and NaCl, and then putting these values, the value is calculated to be 238.75 ohm inverse centimeter square gram equivalent inverse. Come to the fourth question, what is a salt bridge? Write down its function. हमें salt bridge कहले कौन बुझिबो? An inverted U tube containing a saturated solution of potassium chloride, potassium nitrate or ammonium nitrate, which does not undergo a chemical change during the process, whose two ends are plugged by some porous material such as cotton or glass wool. This is called a salt bridge. What is the function of the salt bridge? It helps to maintaining the neutrality of the solution in the two mixture. It helps to complete the electrical circuit and it helps to avoid the liquid junction potential. Now, let us come for the group C. This is a 3 marks question section. Here 2 questions is to be answered out of 4. Each question requires not more than 6 minutes to write the answer. A section by I total 12 minutes. What is a secondary cell? Briefly describe the working of the lead storage battery. आम secondary cell definition कौन कहब? What is a secondary cell? A cell which can be recharged by passing current through it in the opposite direction so that it can be used again is called a secondary cell. Lead storage battery. The lead storage battery is commonly used in automobiles and inverters. We have to write the diagrams of the lead accumulator. Then after that we have to describe it. It consists of a lead anode and a grid of lead packed with lead dioxide as cathode. A 38% solution of sulfuric acid is used as an electrolyte. The cell reaction when the battery are is in use is given as below. So the battery use रे थिबो सेतेबेले कोन हबो ना एनोड पाखरे Pb प्लस SO4 2 माइनस आसीबो PbSO4 को कन्वर्टेड हबो दुईटी इलेक्ट्रॉन सेटी प्रोड्यूस हबो सेही दुईटी इलेक्ट्रॉन जाई पहुंचीबो कैथोड पाखरे टू कंप्लीट द सर्किट सेटी लेड डाइऑक्साइड सल्फेट आयन H+ सहित मिसी लेड सल्फेट और वाटर रे कन्वर्ट हबो ओवरऑल सेल रिएक्शन consisting of the cathode and anode reaction is Pb plus PbO2 plus 2H2SO4 aqueous gives us 2PbSO4 plus 2 water. But the reverse reaction occurred on charging the battery. On charging the battery, the reaction is reversed and lead sulfate on anode and cathode is converted into lead and PbO2 respectively. Write a note on the hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. हमें आगे fuel cell definition लिखिबा. Galvanic cell that are designed to convert the energy of the combustion of fuels like hydrogen, methane, methanol, etc. directly into the electrical energy are called fuel cells. After that, hydrogen oxygen fuel cell diagram टे बनेबा तार तीनोटी कंपार्टमेंट को एक्यूरेटली हम डिस्टिंक्ट करेबा. After that, हमको तार वर्किंग कथा लिखिया पड़िबो. In this cell, hydrogen and oxygen are bubbled through the porous carbon electrodes into the aqueous NaOH and KOH solution. Catalysts like finely divided platinum or palladium metal are incorporated into the electrodes for increasing the rate of electrode reactions. The electrode reactions are given below. At cathode, oxygen combines with water and gains 4 electrons to give 4 OH minus. At the anode, these 4 hydroxide ions are gained by water molecule, a hydrogen molecule to produce water molecule and 4 electrons. Overall reaction is 2H2 plus O2 gives 2 water. The fuel cell runs continuously as long as the reactants are supplied. Advantages of the fuel cell: they are non-polluting, like secondary cells. They do not need to be recharged. They are more efficiency than the thermal plants. Question number 3. Describe the factors affecting the electrical conductivity of the electrolytic solution. What are the factors? Inter-ionic attraction or solute-solute interaction. Higher the inter-ionic attraction or solute-solute interaction, lower will be the degree of ionization. Second factor, solution of ions or solute-solvent interaction. Higher the solute-solvent interaction or solution of ions, higher will be the degree of ionization. Then factors number 3, viscosity of solvent or solvent-solvent interaction. Higher the viscosity of solvent or solvent-solvent interaction, lower will be the degree of ionization. Temperature, with rise in temperatures, all the three above factors increases. Thus, the average kinetic energy of the ions of the electrolyte increases with rise in temperature. As a result, the conductance of the electrolytic solution increases with increase in temperature. State and explain Molar's law. Write down its application. আমি Molar's law কইলে কোন বুঝিব? At infinite dilution, the equivalent conductance of the electrolyte is equal to the sum of their individual contribution when all the ions migrate independently. Thus, the equivalent conductance at infinite dilution is equal to the sum of the ionic conductance of its component ions, that is equivalent conductance of the electrolyte is equal to the sum of equivalent conductance of cations and anions, where lambda 0 cations and anions are ionic conductance of the cations and anions respectively at infinite dilution, expressed in ohm inverse centimeter square gram equivalent inverse. Application of Molar's law. Calculation of the equivalent conductance of the weak electrolyte at infinite dilution. Equivalent conductance of weak electrolyte cannot be obtained graphically by extrapolation, but indirectly it can be evaluated by applying Molar's law. Application number 2. Calculation of the degree of dissociation alpha and dissociation constant Kc of the weak electrolyte. The degree of dissociation alpha of the weak electrolyte can be calculated by measuring the equivalent conductance of the solution of the weak electrolyte at any given solution and at infinite dilution. Thus, alpha is equal to degree of ionization alpha is equal to lambda by lambda 0. From the knowledge of the concentration and the degree of dissociation, and the dissociation constant can be calculated. Kc is equal to C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. Again, for weak electrolyte alpha is very less than 1, so 1 minus alpha can be neglected and Kc is equal to C alpha square. We can calculate the value of K. Application of Molar's law. For calculating the solubility of the sparingly soluble salt. The solubility of a sparingly soluble salt can be calculated from the knowledge of specific conductance, molar conductance of the electrolytic solution as follows: that the solubility S is equal to K, specific conductance K into 1000 by molar conductance lambda M. We'll come to all of you to the group D, the descriptive section. Here one question is to be answered out of 2. एटी हमको 12.5 मिनिट्स भीतर ये 5 मार्क प्रश्न उत्तर लिखा पड़ो. क्वेश्चन नंबर 1. Define molar conductance and equivalent conductance. Write their units. Derive the relationship between them. एबे देखियो molar conductance कहले हम कोन बुझियो. The conductive power of all ions produced by dissolving 1 gram mole of electrolyte in solution is called molar conductance. It is represented by the symbol lambda m. What is the unit? The unit of molar conductance is ohm inverse centimeter square into gram mole inverse in CGS system. In SI system, it is ohm inverse meter square gram mole inverse in SI system. Now, let us come for the equivalent conductance. What do I mean by equivalent conductance? The conducting power of all ions produced by dissolving 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte in solution is called equivalent conductance. It is represented by the symbol lambda EQ. Unit in CG system, the unit of equivalent conductance is ohm inverse centimeter square gram equivalent inverse. In SI system it is ohm inverse meter square gram inverse. Now relation between the molar conductance and the equivalent conductance. For univalent electrolyte, the molar conductance is equal to equivalent conductance. For binary electrolyte, molar conductance is equal to equivalent conductance into 2. In general, for molar conductance is equal to equivalent conductance into Z, where Z is the total positive or negative charge per formula unit of the electrolyte. For molar conductance is equal to equivalent conductance into N plus to Z plus, where N plus is the number of cations, then Z plus is the charge on the cation. State and explain Faraday's laws of electrolysis. हमें Faraday's first law statement लिखा के पड़ी. The amount of substance deposited or liberated at any electrode is directly proportional to the quantity of electricity passed through the electrolytic solution. Mathematical derivation: if W is the mass of substances liberated or deposited at the electrode, and Q is the quantity of electricity passed through the electrolytic solution, then according to Faraday's first law, W varies Q, implied W is equal to ZQ, where Z is the proportionality constant known as electrochemical equivalent of the substance. Again, I is equal to Q by T implies Q is equal to IT. Putting the value of Q, the above equation can be written as W is equal to ZIT. Implies Z is equal to W by IT. Thus, electrochemical equivalent of a substance is defined as the mass of substance deposited when a current of 1 ampere is passed for 1 second. Again, electrochemical equivalent of an element is equal to equivalent conductance by 96,500, where equivalent mass is equal to atomic mass by valency. Now, let us compare the Faraday's second law. हमको प्रथम statement लिखा पड़ी. When same quantity of electricity is passed through different electrolytes connected in series, then the mass of different substances liberated at the electrodes are directly proportional to their equivalent masses. Explanation: let us consider three electrochemical cells containing AgNO3, copper sulfate, H2SO4 are connected in series. Diagram टी को बने साला परे हमें तार explanation part को जीवा. When same quantity of electricity, that is Q coulomb, is passed through them for a given time, then it will be found that the mass of Ag, copper and hydrogen liberated at the respective electrodes are Wag, Wcu and Wh respectively. According to Faraday's first law, Wag is proportional to Q, implies Wag is equal to Zagq. Similarly, Wcu is equal to Zcuq and Wh is equal to Zhq. Now, Wag by Wcu is equal to Wzagq by Zcuq, that is equal to Zag by Zcu. Again, by multiplying 96,000 on both the numerator and the denominator, it can be converted to Eag by Ecu. Thus, we can find Wag by Wcu is equal to Eag by Ecu. Similarly, Wag by Wh is equal to Eag by Eh, and Wcu by Wh is equal to Ecu by Eh. Thus, in general, we can write down W1 by W2 is equal to E1 by E2. Imply W1 by E1 is equal to W2 by E2. Imply W by E is equal to constant. Imply W is equal to constant into E. Imply W is proportional to E. Thus, we get that the weight of the substance deposited or liberated at the respective electron is directly proportional to their equivalent masses. Thanks for watching Propulsor's Career Point. Please like and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe my channel if you are watching it for the first time.